Alright, what's up YouTube? In this video I'm going to show how I made a pedal, BMX pedal replacement sleeve for a premium slim pedal spindle. This first test was nylon, or it's easy nylon, and you can see it already broke in one spot, and you can see that it's very flexible. So even if it was strong enough not to break, it was a little too flexible for my liking. This is just regular PLA, just to see how strong it would hold up. This is eSun PLA clear. Like I said, it's just regular PLA, and you can see I snapped it right there pretty effortlessly. Moving on, this is PLA Plus, also made from eSun. The design itself is also a little thicker, and you can just feel it's way more sturdy. And finally I moved on to PLA Tough. But here's the final design I came up with. I think I printed about 6 or 7 pedals before I finally got the internal dimensions correct. And what I would do is I cut the pedal up into pieces like you see. That way all I had to do was print just the middle piece, and I don't have to waste too much plastic. And then the ends I can cut up where the thread is and just where the spindle part is, just to get those ends perfect. So that's how I was able to save plastic and time. Just cut up the model. Once I get everything dimension wise perfect, put it back together, and then I can 3D print the whole thing as one piece. So here's the final version of it actually fitting correctly. There's no play, it spins perfectly, bearings fit perfectly, and then the threads, I use this little piece to get the threads perfected for this little piece that mashes everything together, and that also works out perfectly. And so here's the final version in PLA Tough, made by Inland, and as you can see here, all the pins are level with each other. Here's the premium slim pedal. You can see I have fillets on the bottom of my pins, whereas their pedal does not. So 6.5 hour print, and I decided not to use any supports just to kind of see how it would turn out. And this is how it looks with supports. You got a little bit of overhang, but for me, it's worth it to just print it like this without supports. I did print a little brim at the bottom just to give it a little more stability so it doesn't fall over while printing from the bed shaking around so much. Alright, and then here is the final test fit. This is the final version that finally everything fit correctly with no play. And right here you see me just putting the bearings in and then tightening the bearings onto the spindle. So right now there is a little bit of play left and right, and then this little guy threads into the pedal itself and then pushes the bearings up against an internal piece of the pedal, which removes all that play. So there you have it, the final version. I made this as thin as possible. It's about 3 millimeters thinner than the premium slim pedal that I ride. And you can see here, I only did one side so that I can kind of compare the two. And here is my test to see how strong it is.
Okay, so as you can see, the threads are what broke internally on the pedal, causing it to be a little loose. It's still rideable, and all I have to do to fix it is take a second little nut piece as a dust cap, basically put on the end of it. That way that will be what strikes the ground and there will be no room for it to move. Also, I'm going to readjust some of the internals, but as you can see, it's still rideable. And I'll upload the final version on Thingiverse, hopefully with those fixes. Thanks for watching.